Welcome to the show that delivers all the delicious topics. Everything is on the menu. We go inside the culture from artists to A&Rs, managers, and memes. We may talk about entrepreneurship, sports, politics, current events, even relationships. I am your host, Lance Arrington, along with my co-host.
I'm Your Majesty.
And this is the Hip Hop Diner. What up?
Hi.
Hey.
What's going on?
A lot and nothing at the same time. What's up with you?
A lot and nothing at the same time.
Yeah, it's hot and it's raining. You know how I feel about that hot rain shit.
Yeah. It's like that nasty rain.
Yeah, that crazy. Speaking of nasty rain, I almost died last Wednesday. Like around midnight when it started raining all hard. I got caught up in the expressway coming from uptown, and it seemed like somebody just was standing on top of the car pouring buckets of water on the windshield. I had the wipers up as high as I could, and it didn't matter at all.
I was in the
I
house.
hydroplaned a couple times.
Yeah, I was in the house.
It was crazy.
I don't even remember last Wednesday's weather, but
like I've driven in rain before, and that was probably the worst rain I've driven in ever. Like people were pulling over, had their hazards on. Like I'm driving and I see like this tall, looked like a statue was coming up out the highway. It hit like 13 feet tall. Then I realized it was water that somebody had driven through and it had splashed up that high. I'm like, come on, man. And then today, I'm about to go on the rain. Then today.
Over rain?
No, over. Yeah, the things that happen in the rain. So on my way up here, somebody hit me in the back.
No diddy.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid, like, you can't even explain this story without saying like rear end, and then you got to pause pause all of that. So I got rear ended on the way up here by somebody. Then he tries to reverse and run, right? But I guess, I don't know if his foot got stuck. I don't know if he was high. This nigga backs up into the gas station, knocks the fence over, gets stuck into the ditch. Anybody that knows Island Avenue and Elmwood Avenue, that's Sunoco that they doing construction on right now. That's the gas station I'm talking about. He knocked the fence over, and I showed you the picture. Mm-hmm. So I got to sit there and laugh at him for a moment. I didn't even want to get out the car and check the car, but he hit me so fucking hard.
And you didn't want to get out?
Nah, because it was pouring down raining and I got stuff to do. And I know boy had, like, I already knew. I'm like, he going to run. As I'm getting out the car, he jamming that joint in reverse. I see him, he like, boom, he goes up into the gas station and knocks the fence over. So that was my adventure coming up here. How about you?
Smooth sailing.
No rear ends?
No.
Okay.
Nope, no issues coming today.
Yeah, but I still got here on time though, which is crazy.
For once, because you usually the late one.
Which is crazy.
I actually was late today. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I was late today.
That was a shot thrown. That was a shot thrown.
Okay.
Yeah.
At me?
I was trying to be smart.
Okay.
But no, I'm glad you made it here safe. Okay. I'd rather you be here late and safe than on time and
hit.
Something like that, like me. But other than that, what we got going on today? Enough of the small BS about my adventures up here.
First of all, let me just tell y'all, I've been outside, okay? I've been outside. Okay. I went to go, first of all, do y'all see the shirt? Cameraman, get my shirt. Make sure you get my shirt, okay? I went to go see my mans. If y'all know me, y'all know that I'm a diehard T-Pain fan. I know it's like, what? T-Pain, but like.
Oh, that's who that is? I'm bad.
It literally says on the shirt. Anyway, I went to go see him in concert in New York, and I had such a good time.
Idi Amin or something.
Excuse me?
I thought it was like Idi Amin or something. My bad. I wasn't really paying attention.
No. I went to the Mansion in Wisconsin tour in New York, and I had a great time because that's my man's, period. And then I was outside again. I went to the Chris Brown concert, the 11/11 tour, and that show was amazing. Like, I had a great time. So I've been outside a little bit, but now it's time to calm down.
I saw a few people outside at the Chris Brown concert yesterday.
So he had 2 shows, and he had an appearance at Noto, the nightclub here. So I went to the Thursday show, which was the first show here in Philly, and it was so good. I haven't seen him in concert since, like, the Millennium Tour days. So it's been like years since I've seen him perform. but he put on an amazing show. So
I hear Chris does his thing from the stuff I've never been to a live Chris Brown show, but
he does, as well as T-Pain. I know everybody not really a T-Pain fan, but me, I am, and I think I'm gonna go see him again for the 4th time counting.
I'm a big T-Pain fan. I remember where I was at when I first heard Fell in Love with a Stripper. I know exactly where I was at.
He had the 2000s in a chokehold.
Yes, he did.
For like
that auto-tune was going crazy.
A few years.
That auto-tune was definitely going crazy. He had his own mic and everything. I remember that.
A lot of people don't know he stopped because of all the backlash he was getting for using auto-tune.
And then everybody started using
for a
auto-tune.
while. And then people started hopping on. And then then he started, it was one point where he couldn't even sell out shows, and now he's selling out tours like crazy. So,
Meanwhile, I'm watching the BET Awards early, and half the people lip singing and anything.
Yeah, I know tonight's the BET Awards, but it's so ratchet now. Like these artists are just ratchet. The BET Awards is nothing like it used to be back in the day, because the dynamic and the people in the industry are just so different from what we're used to. So the honest truth, the only part I want to see is who is going to be doing the tribute to Usher. That's really all I want to see. I don't want to see all these. I don't want to see Sexy Red. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Ice Spice. I don't want to see. I don't want to see any of them. I really don't. It's too ratchet. It's too ghetto. I don't have the time for it. I just want to see who's going to be giving the performance for Usher, and that's it. I don't care about the awards and nothing like that.
None of that type stuff. Where is it at this year?
I don't know.
Is it in LA?
I don't know. Probably in LA.
Like it was hot.
I don't know, but I just wanted to tell y'all I was outside. And Lance, he's never outside because I don't know. You be outside?
I be outside. I just be outside.
Lance be outside.
Yeah. I'm like that, man. I come outside late, creep around, and go back and,
when it's pouring treacherous rain.
And that type of stuff. I was helping my folks. Actually, this week I was helping my folks paint their crib or whatever. And that's how I got caught up in the rain, because I left there at like 12. He was trying to get his house appraised, so he needed to repaint the living room. I told him I'd pull up. Actually, Ralph brother, R.I.P. to my man Ralph. I love you, bro. But his brother, I was helping him paint, so that's how I got caught up. He burnt me out. I ain't go to bed till like 3:00 every day this week. I got about 6 hours of sleep between 5 days. Yeah, so
that's nasty work.
It's definitely nasty work.
Okay, so we got a few things to talk about. So we're going to touch on some sports. We're going to touch on some politics. We're going to talk about this outrageous, absurd balloon dating game show. It's just all over social media. So we just got to talk about it. And then we have our main topic, which I'm praying about.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's giving real praying. But we'll talk, we're going to get into it.
Yeah,
we're going to get into it. Yeah, but before we get into it.
Generally speaking,
we're going to give a disclaimer before we even start the damn conversation. But before we jump into that topic, we're going to jump into our other topic. So sports.
Yeah.
The biggest thing in sports that happened this week
is the NBA draft. Yeah. And the Sixers sucked at it. We got a 6'3" guard that can shoot, which is basically Tyrese Maxey. I don't know why we drafted another guard, but that's long story short on that. The big news of the draft, of course, is the nepotism of LeBron James and Bronny James, which I love because there's not enough nepotism in our community, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, because I was thinking about that. I'm like, why isn't? I guess we don't have enough people in position to exercise nepotism. Maybe. Like, I gotta delve a little bit deeper into that, because I've enjoyed nepotism. Mm-hmm. That's helped me get a couple jobs and all of that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. I know, like, the hospital I worked at, you couldn't get in there without knowing somebody or being related to somebody. So I don't have a problem with that part of the draft, right? It seems like people have a problem with him being drafted because they feel like he doesn't have the skill set to actually play in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Whatever, right?
I mean, all right, so for those of you who don't know, I don't know why you don't know, but if you don't know, so LeBron James' son, Bronny
Yeah,
James.
I'm sorry. I just went all over the place.
Bronny James just got drafted as the 55th pick.
Yes.
And he's now drafted to the LA Lakers with his dad. So now they are what's considered NBA's first father-son duo to be on the same team, which is different. It's never been done.
She said it much better than that's how I was supposed to say it. Yes, that part.
It's no right or wrong way to say anything here, okay? We just vibing, right? So that's what's going on. So some people had mixed feelings. Some people are cool with it. Some people are not. I mean, like, I always had this thing where I always felt like celebrity kids are always privileged to the industry. Like, they don't, like, you have rappers that have kids that are trying to be rappers, trying to be singers. And it's just like, are you I don't want to say are you talented, but it's like, just because your parent is something don't mean you got to be the same thing.
That's true. That's true, right? But I also know parents, right? And a parent can really only help you with the things that a parent know how to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like an entertainer really can't help you go get a job at a hospital. I can help you be a rapper or a singer. You know, those are the connections I have. So I kind of understand that. It's almost to the point where I used to, when somebody new came onto the scene, I would read up on them and see who they were related to. Because it's almost like you said, it's almost a guarantee that they have some type of relation in the industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Royalty. It's like, oh, you such and such, you know, son or daughter. And it's like, what does that mean? Like, what does it really mean? Like, do you actually have talent?
No, it's not about what you know. It's about who you know.
And that's
you know,
sad in a way, because I'm not familiar with how LeBron's son plays. I don't know if he's as well. I'm gonna assume he's not as good as his dad. Obviously, he's young. You know, LeBron has been in the game for a very long time, so he's very, very skilled in his craft. You know, but is he even talented to be on the Lakers?
Most people say no. Most people say no, he's not. I wouldn't say that he's not talented enough. I just felt like maybe he could have stayed in college a little bit longer.
Yeah, because isn't he coming from Southern University?
LSU. Yeah, he's coming from LSU, I believe. Yeah, LSU. And I think this was his sophomore year he was coming out of. So he could have stayed to be a junior. But again, LeBron's on the tail end of his career, so it was all about that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what's rubbing people the wrong way, because it seems kind of forced. We've been hearing about, ever since LeBron made that statement of, I want to stay in the league long enough to play with my son, we've been talking about this. It's
been manifested.
Yes, it's been manifested. It's been waited upon. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping that the Sixers may draft him so that we could get LeBron James, because we could use the help.
Like LeBron coming to Sixers?
Yeah, because I mean, the word was wherever Bronny goes, that's where LeBron is going to go, because he wants to play with his son. Do you think
they should be on two separate teams, or do you think it's good they're on the same team?
Well, I mean, that was the only way it was going to go, to my point. So that was the only way that was going to. The only reason Bronny was coming into the league was to play with LeBron, so they weren't going to separate teams. Now, people were like saying like, oh, if a team drafts Bronny, they're drafting them with the mindset of, okay, LeBron's going to come play here. But now that I think about it, I'm like, nah, LeBron wasn't going to go. Bronny was always going to go to LA, because LeBron was never leaving LA. So they drafted him, second round, 55th pick. I don't know how much Bernie's going to get, but I mean, like you said, he manifested it. The only thing I don't like about nepotism is, like, if like you said, if the person doesn't qualify for that position. Because I've seen nepotism, I've seen favors, I've seen all of that stuff. A good friend of mine, you know, his dad was the head, you know, his dad was in charge of everything. He worked under his dad, and now he's in charge of everything, but his dad made him shovel shit first, basically. He put him at the bottom, and he worked his way up. I saw that firsthand.
That's fair.
And that's fair.
Not just it being handed or spoon-fed to you just because of who your parent is.
Exactly. So now he's actually qualified to run everything because he started from the bottom.
Which is great because you can't run a business or a company or become the heir to a company if you don't even know the ins and outs of the company.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I think that's smart on some people's behalf. I mean, some celebrities, they, I can't remember who, but I know, I think it was like Gordon Ramsay. He was like, y'all not getting none of this. Like he said that he's like, you're going to work for your own money. You're not going to, you're not going to be banking off of me and everything that I've built. I think he was one of the celebrities that I know of that has that mindset that's like,
it's not your money, it's my money, it's the money that I earned. I learned the process of earning this money. I gained the skill set to earn this money. I qualify for this money. You don't qualify for this money,
right?
You don't know what it, you don't have the same appreciation for it,
right? Because you didn't work for it.
Exactly. And that's why most of the time kids run through the money
and they spoiled.
Exactly. So it's like 80% of wealthy people started off poor, basically. You know what I'm saying? Only 20% come from money. So you better off starting. Most of the time, if you come from money, you're going to end up blowing it.
Right.
Unless you're the one that earned the money.
Right. But in this case, LeBron's son, Bronny,
we don't got to worry about him blowing the money.
Being on the team, he's going to be earning his own money.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing. So,
but he put a target on his back. I don't think it's fair to him.
To him as who?
Bronny, in a sense, because you put a target on his back, and I feel like it's forced. I don't know if that's. Of course, he wants to go to the league and play ball, but the backlash of the nepotism, the backlash of people feeling like, oh, you don't deserve to be here. It's other people that they could have took in the second round, 55th pick.
Right.
That may actually have a better skill set.
And like you said, this is his sophomore year, so he could have finished out before he came into the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that point, but I mean,
now, it would be mad disrespectful if they let him get a lot of. Now, if they, send him down to the G League or
make him start from the bottom.
Exactly. Or let him come in when it's 30 seconds left in a blowout or whatever, really baby step him, not really.
You want a team.
But technically, you're playing with your son, Brian.
Right.
Okay? Technically, that came true.
Right.
But his ass is sitting down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all on the same team, happy. Boom, boom, boom. He got some stats. You got some stats. Y'all play together. But he's not going to get a lot of tick. And that's the fair thing until he proves it.
And I think that would be fair. But, I mean, we just got to see how it unfolds when these games start. But, I mean, all the best to them.
Yeah, I feel like Bryce is actually going to be the one based on the fact that to me, he has a better skill set and he doesn't have the pressure. No one's really looking at Bryce. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he'll be able to blossom under that. So good luck to all of them. They win either way.
Best wishes to the Lakers and all the new players that got drafted.
Because you best believe I'm helping my kids in any way. Because what do we do this for? What do we do it for? Honestly. Why do we get up and bust our ass if we not going to help our kids along the way and make it a little bit easier for them? So I absolutely see nothing wrong with it. But I won't give my kids something that they don't qualify for.
Right. Right.
That's it. Yeah. I'll give you the connections, and you can utilize those connections, but I'm not going to tell my connections to, oh no, he goes,
where
or she,
go.
Right. Or she gets more than they still have to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
If you got an intern or whatever it is, then that's what you going to do, volunteer or whatever. You're not just going to go to
the top,
from the 6 figures and telling people what to do because no one's going to respect that.
Absolutely not.
Even if you know what you're doing, no one's going to respect that if they didn't see you put time in.
Right.
At least fake it for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if you feel like your kid is qualified, because sometimes they are qualified. Sometimes they may just be the person for the job, but you still got to get everybody accustomed to them being around, I feel like.
You know what? We didn't discuss this, and this was not a part of our topics, but just when you just said that, it just made me think of something. Lately, it's been a lot of celebrities getting these honorary degrees, right? And the most recent one
Mhm.
was Pretty V, and everybody has been up in a frenzy. Now, Pretty V is not the only celebrity that has been
No, they give them out a lot.
granted a honorary degree, but for some reason when she got hers, it was like this big thing about it. Like, but I know a lot of people feel a way about these celebrities getting like these honorary degrees that they did not work for.
I mean, they did work for it in a sense, right? They earned it by doing their celebrity thing. Whatever they're famous for got them that honorary degree.
But how you get an honorary doctorate degree being a comedian? That doesn't make any sense.
What is the doctorate in?
I don't know. I think it's just I don't know.
You know, like so that would be, I don't know, who is it?
Pretty V. I just know it's an honorary doctorate degree, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so
I mean, like I said, there's other celebrities that have been gifted or granted these honorary degrees, but it's just like some people feel like it's disrespectful to give somebody a degree who did not work for it, who did not, you know, have the financial responsibility of paying for school and, you know, going through the 4 years or however long it takes for that field to get a degree. And at this point, y'all just handing them out. Like half these celebrities are high school dropouts, and now at this point, you could just give degrees out. What am I going to school for? I might as well drop out, become famous, and get one like that. It's just like I think it's crazy, and I think it's disrespectful.
It's in humanitarian.
Oh yeah, humanitarian.
I mean,
that's right.
Who cares? What are you making money? Like, who's actually going to school for humanitarianism? Is that a real? I mean, is that part of the curriculum to begin with?
That's beyond my scope, honey.
Yeah, so I don't even think that's really part of curriculum. Can you go to school for humanitarianism?
I mean, there's a degree for it, so I don't know.
There's an honorary degree for it.
Well, that's what she was given.
Yeah,
she was given an honorary humanitarian degree, and she's now considered Dr. XO. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. I'm not really sure. I just wanted to just throw that little thing in there.
Yeah, like I feel like people earn it in their own little way. If that's what the school want to do, give you a little honorary degree. It's not now. If you walking around making people call you doctor, now you bugging. You tweaking a little bit. If you like, no, I am now Dr. such and such. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's like getting the key to the city and then walking around really trying to open up doors with it.
Which celebrities do get a lot of these keys to the city and days in their city. Like, what is all of that stuff?
Now, if you really pulling up and like, no, let me do what I want to do, it's like, dude, relax. That was just a thing that we did to show you a little honor, a little appreciation with whatever you got going on. But like, that's all. The honorary degree thing, I don't really have a problem with it.
You think it's fair to just be giving out honorary degrees to people who didn't actually put the work in a school setting, regardless of what they do in their field as far as a celebrity? Do you think it's fair for them to be given these honorary degrees if they did not actually sit and work for it? Like,
yes.
Okay. Moving on. So, enough of that. We're going to go on to politics. Yay.
Yeah. Donald Trump and...
So the debate was recently between Donald Trump and Joe Biden in Atlanta. And...
the ATL.
Yeah. And
Trump was bidding on Biden.
Yeah, he definitely was throwing shots. Shots was definitely fired.
It should be, though. Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but Biden, get your shit together, bro. You knew what you was going up there to do. And it's like, tighten up a little bit, bro.
All right, I'll be honest with y'all. I didn't watch the debate. I just seen like the highlights, the clips, all the main parts that everybody was talking about. So speaking in general, like based off of the information that I saw. So apparently, Biden, like I said, threw shots. He brought up the fact that Trump is a felon, which I'm confused about. How are you a felon and you're running for president, but felons
can't get jobs?
Not even can't get jobs. They can't even vote.
Yeah.
So
that's something.
I'm confused as to how he's even in this position to be running for president again with the rep sheet that he has.
That's gonna be a whole episode on like
you're a whole convicted felon. How are you
Exactly.
even in a presidential debate right now and not in a jail cell? That's beyond me.
he's an honorary felon.
I'm not going there with you.
He's an honorary felon. Like,
So
don't count for real.
So Biden brought up, the simple fact that he had that issue running incident with molesting a woman in public, the incident with Stormy Daniels, his civil penalties and how he owes billions of dollars in civil penalties, and the fact that he's a felon right now. So that was, part of his
like
argument.
all of that stuff, nothing, all like you listing all of those things, they've already existed.
Right.
Like he won with all of those things already being in place. The only difference was he just wasn't a proven felon yet. But they've been talking about him being a felon since he's been in office. We've been talking about that the Stormy Daniels situation since he's been in office.
Yes.
So for Biden to sit up there and talk about those things.
But that's what they got to do.
I mean,
yes. They got to.
He definitely, but it's like, does that really hold weight and swaying? Does that change anybody's perspective?
He just don't want y'all to forget.
True, but
he's like, don't forget.
But it's not convincing any new voters, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like you just got up there. It's like two rappers just getting up there and rapping to their audiences. Like it's like when Rick Ross and 50 Cent beefed with each other. Like, okay, y'all beefing, but neither one of y'all took anyone's fan base.
Right.
Everybody just agreed with you and hated you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And that's what I feel like happened with that. With you saying with those things, like you didn't say anything new, bro.
No, he didn't say anything new. I mean, other than now he's an actual convicted felon, but he gotta have something to fight with.
Yeah, and they still love him. But on the flip side to that, from the little bit that I did see, Biden looks old.
Well, that was another thing that did come up. Of course, they were concerned about the age and if they're capable of, being president. I believe Biden is 3 years younger. I believe Trump is 81.
That's crazy.
And I think Biden is 78.
It can't be. It can't be because
hold on, let me check my notes because I wrote it down.
Because everything is about presentation, right? And perspective. And Trump presents way younger than Biden does. Just the eye test, when you look at the two, you would think that Trump was younger than Biden.
I was right, just so y'all know. And please excuse my ghetto paper. Okay.
No,
Biden is 81. Oh, Biden is 81. Trump is 78.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I had it reversed. I'm sorry.
All right.
Sorry, y'all. So I got my notes to make sure I'm right and accurate.
Because Biden act way too old to be younger than Trump.
And they were concerned about, how he was speaking. He sounds tired. He sounds like he about to croak a little bit. Like, is he going to make it to November? We don't really know. Because after the debate, he was seen at the Waffle House getting a cup of tea. And they asked him, how does he think he performed during the debate? And he said, I think I did well. And I'm just like, bruh.
Okay.
It was given.
Yeah, it was given old as shit, bro.
It was given. You need to take
It was given vice president
on Biden, but
it was given vice president about to be president vibes.
Right. So then Biden spoke at a rally in North Carolina, like after the debate, whatever. So he did a rally where he said, I don't debate as well as I used to, but I know how to do this job. I know right from wrong, and I know how to tell the truth. And I know how to get the job done, and that he intends to win the election. So that's the vibe he's giving off,
He's 4 years older. It's like signing somebody to another contract. It's like, do you want to sign him for another 4 years?
I mean, do we have any other options? Anybody else
no,
run?
and that's the problem with the political spectrum as a whole. It's like, one, it's all this to me. It's all the same thing, right? It's all an illusion of differences, and really is two wings of the same bird, technically.
How?
Huh?
How? What you mean?
Because if the country is ran by corporations, right, and that's what really, like, that's no matter who we vote for, no matter who's in office, Republican or Democratic, the agenda is what the corporations want it to be. It doesn't make a difference in that aspect, is what I'm saying. So, and a lot of people feel like that. So a lot of people just avoid it altogether. And then it doesn't help when you see two older gentlemen that aren't your peers, that aren't from your same background. They're pandering to your vote with these fake pictures with rappers and all of that. You know, to any intellectual person, is distasteful, and no one wants to be involved with it. And then, like you said, what's the other option except walking away from it and not participating in it at all?
Because who else is running? Who else is on the ballot?
And the sad thing is, I don't care. You know, as crazy as that sound, and I know it sounds like a little like I should care. But
people saying it's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
They feel like it's a lose-lose either way that we go.
Unfortunately, sometimes that's how I feel. You know, my mom's like, oh, you voting? Did you vote? Bro,
they're saying if the debate, not the debate, if the election was tomorrow, who would you vote for? And I was like, ooh, that's a tall order.
Most people would be like, I had to sit this one out. I mean, I would.
Do you think people are going to vote? Or do you think people are just going to be like, you know what?
No, I mean, people are going to vote for people are going to vote, but it's not going to be because they're informed on any type of policies or anything like that. They're going to be voting to eliminate the other person. I'm only voting for him because I don't want him.
Right.
And I'm only voting for him because I don't want him.
Right. So it's not going to be based on what they stand for. It's going to be, well, I don't want him in office, so I got to go with him. And
wouldn't that be, if you were the corporations, the people that really run their behind the scenes and really, you know, do their thing and all that, wouldn't you want it that way?
I mean, I don't
like, we don't even have to give them any real policy. We just got to make this pissing match about, you know, a popularity contest.
Well, that's what it is now. Like, a lot of people in this day and age don't really listen to what the person is standing for.
Yeah, nothing.
They're just basically voting off the name.
Exactly. Like, nothing gets done.
I'm not gonna lie. When Barack was running, I don't care what he stood for. He was black, and I want to vote for him, period.
Exactly, and exactly right.
We be talking all day long. I don't care. I'm voting for him, period.
I'll bet anything that the majority of people, that's the last time they voted.
Well, you know what? A lot of people did vote for Trump because his ass got in office. So I don't think that's the last time. I feel like if you listen to what both parties stand for and you are for what they stand for, then vote accordingly. Don't vote because you don't want the other in office.
But nothing's bipartisan.
You may not like Trump, but he might have some points on what he's trying to be in office and doing and getting done, and vice versa. Biden may have things that you may agree with him standing for. You may want to vote for him. But I'm just saying, like, stop putting people in office just because you don't want the opposite person in office.
But I mean, people are either too busy or don't care enough or worried about their real life situations.
But the same energy they had,
deep dive into what the issues really are.
But the same energy y'all had when Barack was running, put that into every election going forward, regardless of who's on the ballot.
But they don't see the thing. And that's another thing. No one is really informed about what Barack Obama really did while he was in office. It was just a black president.
Oh, so it wasn't really.
No one. Barack did the same thing everyone else did while he was in president.
But I think people more so paid attention
because he was the first black president.
So they wanted to know what was going on.
It was the same thing. It was the same circus.
Did you watch this debate?
Who?
Barack.
Yeah.
Did you watch this debate recently?
No.
Oh, well, point proven.
Only because Barack was the first black president. Everybody watched all of that stuff.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Because he was the first black president, everybody wanted to be
No, that's what I mean. No, but they it was a shallow in the know. They still don't know anything.
Yeah, but they were still more involved with what was going on versus what's going on now.
No, they just went and voted.
No, that's like, people was at them rallies. You just said you watched the debate.
They were at the rallies because it was a black president. They don't know anything about. So you think they were just
here with deaf ears and blind eyes?
They were they were definitely seeing a black president, and they were hearing all the rappers go, yes, vote for Barack, and all the we can, and I don't even, what was the slogan?
Don't make me lie.
Yeah, what was the slogan? We can do it, or
yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yeah, so they weren't deaf and blind, but they weren't informed on real political issues.
I think they were more informed then than they are now.
No, they was just hype about black president and all the stuff that went around it. And people had a vested interest because it was the first black person. So to that point, yes, everybody was way more involved. Everybody went out and voted, but nobody became more educated on real life issues.
So before we close up on this topic, I want to spin a block on one thing that had social media going up in a frenzy that Trump said out of his face, and that social media went and made a whole thing about it. And I got to get my notes out, so excuse my ghetto paper. But he said something about, hold on, I got to find it, y'all. Oh, so Trump had claimed that Biden is allowing illegal immigrants to enter the states and take, air quotes, black jobs. So as soon as he said that, people went up in a frenzy talking about somebody made a list.
Oh, yes.
Somebody made a list of black jobs.
Yes.
And it was the funniest list I've ever seen in my life.
Hold on.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's the one thing, one of the things that I took away from the highlights of that debate. When I tell you social media was going crazy over that.
Hold on, yeah.
That list is nasty work. Like, it was crazy stuff on there. Did you see the list?
Yes.
It was like almost close to, if I'm not mistaken, 100 jobs that they said was black jobs.
Here we go, black jobs.
Go ahead, run some of them down. It was crazy.
Here we go.
I see weebologist, Amazon driver, like
NFL cornerback, security. Hold on.
It moved fast.
Yeah, NFL cornerback, security for a strip club, call center, baddies, East security, food stamp seller, barber, Lash Tech, parking lot security, Waffle House cook, club promoter, bottle girl, Herbalife seller, TSA agent, the fish truck man.
Truck man, what?
Professional shoe thief, Kool-Aid maker, Little League football coach, valet driver.
I think podcaster was on there too.
I'm sure.
It was.
Mid-card wrestler, dog catcher, CD man, UPS delivery driver, hype man. Did I say bottle girl? Yeah.
Club promoter.
Selling plates.
Selling platters.
Supervisor when supervisors ain't there.
Lady doing hair, like braiders. It was just crazy. That list was crazy.
That's jobs for everybody.
So listen.
Tyler Perry movie act.
Somebody said Tyler Perry movie act there.
Yeah.
Nasty work.
Oh my god.
So if you need a black job, just go ahead to the Shade Room and just look up that list and go ahead and apply.
Black jobs.
Black jobs, y'all. We are he's saying that Biden is letting immigrants come in and take our black jobs. So
we about to see, Sexy Red about to turn into an immigrant.
Is she still running for president? Because at this point.
So we about to see more Mexican NFL cornerbacks.
Okay.
The Indians already took the call center. That's already in the Middle East, so that's not Lash Tech. You're gonna have a Mexican immigrant.
I do my
Lash
own lashes.
Tech.
Thank you very much. I don't play about my lashes.
Immigrant veneer tech.
A veneer tech.
Immigrant content creator, candy later. Like, yeah, that's just like, he's letting people in to take your jobs.
But why have he black jobs though? I could do
jobs.
What's a black job?
Yeah, what does he mean by that? Black, like
that list right there. Anyway, so moving on. So that wraps up politics. Okay, we'll try to keep you updated on the debate, but I'm scared for November. Don't ruin my Thanksgiving with this nonsense. Yeah. Anyways,
like the kids gonna have it rough. Like even the fake food, like that's a whole nother thing. I was watching. Did you see that with like the fake watermelon? Like the people was buying watermelon that was like rubbery. You know how you know watermelon when you bend it snap right away.
Mm-hmm.
This was like you could bend it all the way.
How you bending watermelon?
Exactly. The banana, he had to pull the banana apart like it was dough.
Where they getting this
from? I don't know. So I'm looking at the Ralph's son walked by, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what you gonna be eating by the time you get of age, because if they selling us this now, I don't. It's like, yes,
we're doomed all around.
Yeah, like this shit is scary and crazy.
So we finna touch base on this goddamn
what's up
balloon dating game show, and if you know, you know. If you don't know, it is all over social media. It is the red balloon dating game show. I mean, I don't really know how else to put it. Where either a woman or a man comes out to a lineup of females or a lineup of males, and the lineup, they all have these red balloons, and if they are interested, they do not pop their balloon. If they're not, they pop it. And yeah, it's wild. It's wild. You seen it.
It's basically, that lets you know where we are as a society. Like, I knew.
Like, this what it's come down to now? Dating? We got to go on a game show and pop balloons?
Yeah, like, when you started, like, it shifted when you could turn on porn and they just got right the fucking, and there was no more, like, scenes. It's like, it just shifted right to that, right? That's what this balloon popping is. It's basically The Bachelor and The Bachelorette just straight to decision night. Like, straight to that. Yeah. And the most ignorant, ratchet, quick way to do it. Mm-hmm. It's like, do you like me? Yes or no? Boom, no. Get out my face.
And they be popping the balloons for the utmost reasons. It's so crazy. These girls or these men really be popping their balloons, and I just be like, then when the host goes to that person and asks them, why did they pop their balloon? It just be like the utmost craziest reasons I've ever heard in my life. Like, what? It goes back to these females having these high standards again.
Yeah, you fit off, and what was some other reasons? Oh, you not tall enough.
Oh, you remind me of my little brother.
Yeah, like
your age, you too young. Well, I get that. I mean, your age preference is your age preference. I understand
age preference, the age preference.
Yeah,
but
the ones that pop their balloons for age preference, those I understand. But the other stuff, they be nitpicking.
Yeah, because what you do for a living and
how you look. Like the one guy, everybody knows. Because if you've been following social media, you know. I don't know his name. I don't know if they ever said his name. But the guy that they said looked like a Ninja Turtle. That is he a plumber? And he ended up getting fired.
The one that lost his job.
Yes, the one lost his job.
Yeah.
Like, they went in on him.
Like, you up there losing your job over this. Like, I don't understand what the point of it is.
First of all, where is this at? And how do you get on the show?
And nothing productive comes from walking into a room, allowing yourself to be judged by
a lineup of people that you don't even know
that are looking to be ignorant.
Right. And so, like, the purpose of this game show is to find a match.
No one's looking for a match.
I mean, I have seen some matches, but there has been, but what's keeping it relevant is all the balloon popping and all the controversy.
Of course,
that comes
the negative,
with it. The negative about it. I will say that I have seen ones where people did end up matching.
No, but yes, I did see the one. I mean to cut you off. I did see the one with the young lady and the gentleman. They were like, the one with he had dreadlocks and they were like both in the anime and all of that type of stuff. And she was like, "No, you seem like a nice young man and all of that." I thought that was a good one.
I don't know if I seen that one.
Yeah, because she was the only one that and they looked like they were a good match and all of that. She was like, I came here to meet somebody, so I don't know what they popping it for, but
yeah, and then it's getting real funny because now people like making these funny videos about it. Yeah. Like the one I sent you where Bo was like, she got legs. She might walk out of my life. Said, she got eyes. She can look at other men.
She took 3 steps, bro. I can't have that. Yeah. Like,
she said hi to the other boy. She can't be talking to other people by next. Like that joke is so funny.
It's like she got eyes. That means she can look at other people, bro. We can't have that.
Yes.
Like, dude, what are you talking about?
Oh, the boy said her legs straight. That means she can walk out of my life. I was done.
Yeah, because he was bowling.
Yes, I was done. It was done. That's the funniest one I've seen. I've seen other ones, but
because that's what they sound like.
That is what they sound like. They be popping the balloons for
because that's what they sound like. Because that's what they sound like. That one V20 and all of that. Like, I guess I don't care. Like, I don't care with y'all.
And I will say, some of the girls that be popping their balloon, I be like,
Exactly.
the audacity of you. Like, the audacity of you to pop your balloon. Okay.
Exactly.
Like, okay. And then it was one that I saw. It was a Caucasian male. He was very well established. He, I think was in marketing. So, he has a really good job, makes a lot of good money.
It's not a black job.
It ain't a black job. even though us blacks can be in marketing, okay?
Us blacks can do
anything that
we know we don't have to say this, right?
Okay.
We know we don't have to have this discussion, right? Yes.
So he was Caucasian and his whole lineup was a lineup of beautiful black females, but none of them was his type. None. I don't even know why
he was there.
I don't even know why. Like, I don't even know why y'all were playing that man face like that. Like, when I tell you they look like a bunch of North Philly girls, I was like, what would y'all ever play in this man's face for like that? Why would y'all do that to him? Then y'all got the nerve to ask him, is she your type? Why y'all gonna do that to that man on camera? Man, y'all know.
It's not his type.
Y'all know none of these females even come close. He literally said, and it was funny. He said something along the lines of, I'm just looking for a girl, tired of being used for money. All I heard was pop, pop, pop. No. He said that, and then he said, I want somebody to bring something to the table. That's when I heard all the pops.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah, all y'all pop y'all balloons because
y'all brings absolutely nothing to the table but your looks, right?
As soon as he said that, I heard balloons popping.
Yeah. Like, everybody underqualified.
Yeah. So I thought that was just a crazy
Everybody's underqualified. Like, y'all gotta start bringing something to the table.
That episode was nasty work. I was like, the audacity of y'all to bring this man out to this lineup of girls.
Like,
How dare
y'all wasting my time out here?
So would you go on something like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because no, I would rather prefer to find a genuine connection the old-fashioned way. Don't put me on television.
Good luck.
Huh?
In this generation?
Yeah, that's why I ain't trying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because y'all out here popping balloons and shit. Nobody got time for that.
Ladies, would y'all pop y'all balloon if Lance came out and y'all was in the lineup? Let us know in the comments. Go ahead and tell him. Go ahead and shoot y'all shot in the comments. Right. Y'all popping the balloon or not? Go ahead. Give you a spill.
What spill?
Go ahead and give you a spill.
I'm busy. I work a lot.
Ladies, if y'all would not pop put balloons in the comments.
Oh.
Put y'all balloons in the comments.
Better be some red balloons in there, unpop Jones or something.
Well, they can't put pop. They can't.
I'm about to say, is there a pop? I bet you it'll be a pop balloon emoji.
Use the red balloon emoji in the comments if you would give Lance a chance.
I guarantee you there will be a pop balloon emoji coming out soon by Apple. Next emoji round, there will be a pop balloon emoji. Mark my words on that, because that's how y'all think now. Pop balloons. No, I wouldn't participate. Would you participate in that?
As like somebody in the lineup or somebody that's looking for somebody?
Same thing. Gentlemen.
Don't try me like that.
Balloons.
Don't try me like that.
Comments.
Cause this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna comment back the knife emoji. Pop. Pop. You tried it. That's gonna be my emoji.
Like, nah, I wouldn't no. No. Because why? That's like we've talked about before. That's like going on television and participating.
Oh Lord, that's exactly why I asked you that, because I know your feelings about.
Like I guess I'm too private when it comes to personal stuff like that. Like, I don't want that to be displayed on
television.
Like, yeah, that's.
You don't want to be rejected in public.
And I don't want to do anything of my personal life in public.
Period.
Like, that's none of y'all business. Y'all damn sure ain't about to watch me go through the process of like
finding a match to date.
Yeah, no, because everybody knows that there's camera pressure added to every situation.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this since we've grown up. Every situation changes when there's a camera involved.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Then you have egos involved on top of camera involvement. Like that never works out for people.
Yeah, because I feel like because the camera is involved, they be throwing shots that's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
They be like, really?
You become way more self-conscious. Yes, it becomes a competition again. And it's like
you say something rude, and I gotta say something rude, and I say it'd be like a back and forth, and it just be unnecessary. And if you're not interested in the person, just tell them why, and you don't gotta be rude about it. Just say, just not my preference, not my type. They be just coming at they fit, they face, they skin,
because no one wants to be vulnerable anymore. No one wants to be like just vulnerable and like a normal person. Everybody wants to be the person that's not the one getting bid on or whatever, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one wants to really admit when they really have their feelings with somebody. No one wants to admit that they like somebody. No one wants to admit that they love someone. No one wants to admit that they messed up. Like, no one wants to be vulnerable. Like, and that's the issue. Like, no one wants to be vulnerable.
And society has made that a
yes.
thing.
So when that camera comes on,
everybody put on this facade.
Exactly, because now you worried about what you look like to your home base. Like what I look like to my like my girlfriend, what I look like to my homies. I don't want to look like a simp.
You know what you're signing up for, though.
Yeah, like I don't
you
want
about to be on camera looking for a date. So it's like
I don't want to look pressed. I don't want to. Yes, exactly. You going there to look for a date. So you should be the your most genuine self possible. And that's impossible to be when you're on camera.
And that's the quickest dating process I've ever seen in my life. The quickest. It can be so quick. So quick. Because majority of the time, if it's 10 people lined up, at least 2 people going to have their balloons not popped. If anything. And they take more time figuring out why balloons were popped versus getting to the people who did not pop their balloon. Just talk to them. We don't really care the reason they popped their balloon. We don't care.
It's a very perverse version of speed dating. Right?
It is a very... I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to try speed dating before, but I've never done it. But
I was gonna try it too. I was gonna try it. Ralph was trying to get me to do it. They were actually doing it like I think like once every couple of weeks on top of the barbershop. He was last cutting that. He was trying like, yo, they doing speed dating. Come do the speed dating thing. And even with that, it's just like I was just going to do it just for fun, but
that's
a
little more private though. Like it's an intimate one-on-one thing. Yeah. It's not in front of everybody, even though it is, but it's still a private conversation with you and another person. I would try it. I mean, if I find like a good event where it's speed dating, I might pull up outside.
I think somebody asked me would I go on a date with them on speed dating.
Y'all might as well go on a date. Like what the heck? Like.
They're like, would you do that as a date? Like, we can just go and like do the speed dating.
2 single people going on a
like
date
as a date to speed dating.
2 single people going together on a date to a speed dating.
These are the conversations I be having with people, like, and then people wonder why I don't want to talk to people sometimes. like I'd rather just go work.
I have no words. Moving on.
Yeah, I guess because no one takes anything serious.
Threw me for a loop.
Yeah, like, oh, let's just go do that for fun because, we don't take anything in life serious anymore. So, fuck it. Let's just go speed dating. Together.
As a date.
As a date.
As 2 single people to go find a date.
And then so basically I come pick you up, maybe we go get something to eat or maybe we eat after the speed dating.
What's the point of going speed dating? You didn't already want on a date.
It was.
That was the date.
No, so I pick you up. We go to the speed dating event. We separate. We go talk to all these separate people. Then we get up and we leave together and we laugh about it in the car. Would you do that as a date?
No.
Okay.
Why would I want to go with you? If you like my friend, no. People usually do that with the same gender friend. Like,
thank you.
Girl, come on, let's go do this speed date, and not me and like what? Who's the? But anyway, because I can't even dive into that.
These are the days and times.
But what we're going to dive into is this. This.
Oh, did I say that out
loud? we gotta listen. We agreed on this topic, so we might as well go ahead and.
Nah, yeah.
Come on. So today's look, it's even not ready.
It's like, nah, I don't even want to do it.
It's giving not ready.
Co-parenting.
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 Yikes.
Co-parenting. I mean, it can be co-parent. It sucks.
Before we jump into this is a general conversation.
Yes.
This is not
Yes.
directed,
yes.
subliminal.
It's all hypotheticals.
Anybody.
It's all hypotheticals.
Yes.
Neither one of us have kids. We don't have baby mamas and baby daddies. So this is all like based on what we see in other people.
For the sake of conversation, that statement is true.
Yes.
But in real life, we is parents in real life.
Just they're not to offend them. No, but seriously. Because they'll get offended just by us saying we don't want to offend nobody too much.
This is not direct. This is not subliminal. This is a general conversation.
But it sucks.
About co-parenting.
No, but it sucks. To start, it is a process, and it sucks because of the way that process starts.
Right.
You starting this because y'all can't work it out as a couple, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to figure out how to be a couple without being a couple.
Being a couple of parents. That's it.
Exactly. So that was the first thing I learned, right? The relationship doesn't go away.
Right.
It just changes form.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So remember that when you looking at the person you have kids with and you thinking about breaking up with them and you thinking about this ain't working, trust and believe me, it's going to take more work to co-parent than it would have taken to fix the relationship.
I know some people will stay in a broken relationship for the sake of the kids.
I don't agree with that.
Some people do it.
Yeah, because
some people fear that broken household thing.
It's easier to stay in the relationship mad, arguing, and doing all of those things, being spiteful, cheating on each other, going crazy, than it is to separate, than it is to take accountability, than it is to grow and mature and realize that you had a part to play in this getting to where it is. Mm-hmm. So it's much easier to stay in an effed up relationship than it is to take accountability. It's hard for people to take accountability. That's the part of co-parenting that I think is the hardest part of co-parenting.
There's a lot that comes with co-parenting later on down the line that you have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
I don't think it's healthy to stay in a relationship with the other person that's broken and toxic for the sake of the kids, because that doesn't benefit the kids.
No,
because now y'all just faking
and
reality.
Kids, and the thing about kids they're very resilient, and they'll figure out that new relationship space, and they'll, as long as you guys are working at it, and they can kind of. Just kids are very resilient. Just like you could drop a kid when they small and they just bounce back up. They figure it out. They're not so.
They're observant.
They're very observant. They absorb everything.
Yes, they know.
They definitely know, but they're also good at figuring it out. They don't have the same disdain for the other person. Like, they love both parents. So,
and they never want to choose.
They never want to choose.
They never want to be put in a position to choose.
Exactly. So the only stress that kids really face is the stress that we put upon them. Right. When you sitting there with the kid and you bad mouthing the other parent and vice versa, that's the stress. That's when it's hard for the kids, because then they start lying to you and
protecting the other parent.
Exactly. I've dealt with that. Trust me.
Because you trust and believe the kids will be the ones to tell you everything that goes on.
Or they'll start not telling you anything. They'll not tell you nothing. Like, that can happen also. They'll either tell you everything, but if kids will see how you react to what they're telling you. If they tell you something and then your reaction is you getting on the phone and you arguing with your baby father or your baby mother, they're not going to keep telling you stuff. because now they'll feel like they're the reason why this is happening. And like you said, they love both of us. They want to protect both of y'all. So if, when I tell daddy this, he go yell at mommy, or if I tell mommy this, she go yell at daddy, then no.
Right.
If you have a real life if any party in that relationship is a true quote unquote deadbeat or bad person, the kid will figure that out on their own. Mm-hmm. I feel like the only time when it comes to co-parenting, the only time you should make an effort to keep your kid away from the other parent is if they're trying to do harm to them. If you don't like the way they dress them, or you don't like that they stay up late, the little minor stuff, like, because that's the other part of co-parenting. I got a lot to say about it. That's the other part of co-parenting.
I'm letting you rip.
You got to realize that y'all both have totally different parenting styles.
Yep. Which can be a bit of a struggle.
It's always going to be, because, again, you got to remember, the basis of this is y'all don't get along. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all did get along long enough for this to happen, right? But now, in this current moment, y'all don't get along.
Right.
So that's the crazy part about that, is like you're always approaching every conversation with a little bit of disgruntledness.
I mean, you could have a positive co-parenting, positive co-parenting relationship, or you can have a negative toxic one.
Yes.
It just depends on the circumstances of the situation.
It depends on
it could be copacetic, or it could be.
It depends on how hard you want to work at it. Because it starts off toxic, right? Because why are we co-parenting? Because we can't get along? The only time how often do somebody decide to, like, only time I can think of is like two friends decide, like, okay, if we don't have kids at a certain age, we're going to have kids together. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like or a friend, like, you know how people be like, oh, I have a friend here. If we promised each other, or we made a pact that if we weren't married by a certain age, we were married. You know, you've heard of that before, right? Random things, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the only time I can see somebody going into a co-parenting situation with everything already copacetic.
I feel like the way things end between the parents can also be the foundation for how the co-parenting is going to go in the future.
Yes. Who hurt who, how much was hurt, what was happened, done. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And that will definitely dictate how long it takes for y'all to get to a space of
co-parenting.
Just
positive
positive co-parenting.
Because it's hard if it's a toxic, negative situation.
Yeah.
It's stressful on the parents, it's stressful on the kids. It's just a nasty situation all around. When it doesn't have to be. I feel like it gets nasty when other people start getting involved.
What you mean, like? Yeah, that's why you mean like when you go tell your business to other people? And
no, I mean when the parents start bringing other people in the equation, because now y'all separate ways. In the beginning, you know, well, in the beginning, typically maybe neither parents are dating anybody else because y'all just broke up. Or maybe that may not be the case in some people's situations, but in a general sense, I'm gonna go off of y'all ended, y'all broke up, and y'all not dating anybody at the time. But when that time does come, when one of the parents is now dating, now the whole dynamic of the co-parenting can change.
Definitely changes.
Oh, absolutely.
It definitely changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's good practice to like really keep your kids separated from that part of your life while you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
and I'm
as much as you can, right?
I'm heavy on that
because unless you really about to take this person serious, because
I never agree with people bringing their children around a person they're dating, like in a short time frame. Like, you shouldn't be bringing your kids around anybody that you're in a talking stage to.
No.
You shouldn't be bringing your kids around anybody you haven't been around for 6 months or something like that, you know?
Yeah, no, like, I mean, at the very minimum, at least wait till y'all in a monogamous relationship, right? If you're going to jump the gun and move quickly, at least wait till y'all are exclusive, right?
Right.
At least that part. That's the earliest, I would say. Like you said, if you just dating multiple people, no.
Your kids don't need to be around that.
Yeah, your kids don't need to be around that at all.
Your kids tell it all. You get in trouble anyway. Like, oh, what happened to such and such? All right, chill on me.
Yeah, like, you know, I would keep the kids separated as much as possible until it was time to incorporate them. Now, it's hard, like, you know, when you got your kids on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got your kids every other day and every other weekend, that process may speed up a little bit quicker. I don't know.
I feel like there's no reason whatsoever to bring anybody around.
Yeah, like, no, because I'm thinking you can just avoid all of that. Like, you really just got to prioritize what is important to you. Mm-hmm. And the person that you talking to or dealing with, they should understand that. Yeah, I'll see you when my kid's not around.
Right.
Or I'll talk to you when the kids go to sleep or whatever that, you know, whatever that's going to be. But yeah, but also at some point, everybody has to understand that at some point there will be an incorporation of a new person.
Right. And like, it's just all about how you handle that situation when that time comes.
Yeah. And how hard. My thing is, when you incorporate the new person, just remember that they're not the person that you have these kids with. So don't over incorporate them. Mm-hmm. Like, don't let them take the place of the person. Especially if you have an active mother or active father on the other side, you shouldn't be trying to replace them with the person that you're dating, no matter what your feelings are about this person. Mm-hmm. Of course, this is your person. This is your grass. This grass is greener. Of course, you think this is the person that can, you know, you looking at them with rose-colored glasses so they can't do any wrong. But that doesn't mean that they should be doing what the kid's other parent should be doing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Don't overstep your
don't overstep your boundaries. Even if you don't think that they're doing it correctly, that's still that kid's other parent.
Right.
That's still the other kid's other parent. Like the thing, like we were saying, I saw that video of the guy. So the guy brings in this little boy to the barbershop. He's not the father. The real father was either already in the barbershop or he walks into the barbershop. It must be a small town. They go to the same barbershop. They get to going back and forth. Dad is telling the guy, you know, stop trying to play dad to my son. You overstepping the boundaries mm-hmm. and all of that. But to that point, right, I would find it strange that a guy comes into somebody's life and is trying to take the dad's position. Mm-hmm. This guy is only doing what the mother allows him to do. Mm-hmm. Trust me.
I agree.
Like, trust me 100%. There's no need. Like, you want to kill this dude. You want to beat on this dude. You want to put hands and feet on this dude, right? But he's only doing what she told him to do.
Your problem should never be with
the other person.
It should always be with the parent, your co-parent. Yes.
But the issue is the co-parent sometimes may or may not see what you trying to show them.
And also, when the other parent is not in the same situation, they don't understand where you're coming from and how you're feeling. Like, if one parent is in a relationship and they have the person that they're dating around the kids, and then the other person is not dating and they don't have somebody mm-hmm. around the kids, it's like, you don't understand, you know, like, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is new for me because now you got somebody around my kids and I gotta now adjust to my kid being around somebody else.
So both people have to realize, like, the person that's dating has to understand that, like, okay, respectfully, like, you know, I understand that I'm the first person bringing somebody into this situation, which is already awkward, you mm-hmm. know. no one wants to be the first person to do that. Like sometimes,
I also feel like the person that's dating the parent should also have common sense
you
enough
would
to
think
know.
so, right? You would effing think so. You would effing think so, right? It's like, you don't have kids with this person, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, when you met this person, they had children.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being as though you've never had sexual relations with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid is 8 years old. It's not your kid. So you know that this person has a parent somewhere. They're around, and if that parent, is one thing if the other parent isn't active, is not trying, and it's not boom, 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 whatever. But it's another thing if the parent is active. And if you sitting there and you in the bed with the girl or the guy and you hear them going back and forth and you realize that, we know if you laying in the bed with a chick and she going in on her baby father, whether she right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the other way around. So it's like, you got to understand that there's another part to that. So yeah, you on her team, but don't get overzealous and thinking that you now run the show. Like, let them have their own separate relationship to where they got to work their stuff out, as long as it's respectful.
Well,
as long as it's respectful.
Before Lance got this little rant, because he obviously had
he
obviously was going through things in that moment.
Like,
what I was trying to say was, you would think that the person that the parent is dating would have common sense enough to know when to not overstep their boundaries as the other person in the kid's life. Like, you're not the child or children's parent, so don't cross certain lines.
Yeah. And it's
trying
okay
to overstep, your involvement.
And it's okay to say, like, I'm not comfortable doing that.
And let me make this clear. That's not just with the kids. That's also with the other parent too. Like, don't ever come to. There's no reason that me and this other person need to talk other than an introduction. Like, hey, this is I'm such and such. I'm going to be around your kid. I don't need.
When do you think that introduction should happen?
Never. No. It's like, no. I feel like if my co-parent, first of all, I need to know how long this has been going on. If you tell me you just met this person 2 weeks ago, don't come talking to me about meeting nobody.
Mm-hmm.
If it's been 3 months, let me know you dating, but don't come talking to me about them meeting my kids. Absolutely not. Like, I don't really know.
Do you think you need to meet them at all?
I don't really think I need to meet them.
But because I used to think I needed to.
But
then I think it was just my ego. Like, because I had to learn, like, as long as you're not doing harm to my kid, then... Because you gotta...
But you also do want to know who your kid is around.
Yes, you do. You do, right? You do. You
want to get a vibe. Because, when your co-parent is dating, they think the world of this other person.
Oh, my goodness.
They think the world of this other person.
Yeah,
they could be so blind to red flags that you can catch on the vibe. Like, bro, you don't catch this vibe? Like, what's happening here?
Respectfully.
So, it's... We are struggling right now. Lance, like, yo, you gotta chill. I'm gonna have to edit all this out.
Yeah, so no, you ain't gotta edit nothing. But yeah, you
he can't even keep it together. I'm over this. Struggle is real. Yo, get it together.
All right, no.
Okay.
This is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
What was the last part?
Lance,
what was the last part?
You gotta stay focused.
What was the last part? It was because it's just it's a lot.
I mean, do you want to pick? Do you want to?
No,
what? That?
No, what was it? I'm sorry, it took me.
What I was saying was, like, I don't really know what a time frame is with meeting somebody necessarily. I don't really feel as though you need to meet them, but then again, you do need to know who your kid is going to be around, because
that's
there's
what you
red
were
flags.
saying. Like, yes, the red flags and all that.
Because your co-parent thinks the world of this person, think they can do no wrong, and they will be blind to red flags that they may
and
not
all you
catch.
trying to tell them is like, listen, like you don't got to let him take him to school. Like that's what, like.
So someone said they absolutely need to meet them. So somebody does agree.
I mean, I agree with it, but then
you asked when, and I was like,
yeah, like because I thought you needed to meet them, and then some people told me no, they thought I was pressing the issue and yada yada yada. So it was like that's the other thing. You just learn. It's like you learn to control your emotions, because no matter what you do, if you overreact, you're going to be the bad guy no matter what the other person did, especially when you're the male. Like, you're going to be the bad guy. Like, no one cares. They're not going to see it your way, because if they did see it your way, you wouldn't be having this back and forth right now.
I feel like the guys in the co-parent situation move a little different than a female would. I think females more so move with consideration. I feel like the guys move just different.
And we would say the opposite.
They don't move with courtesy. They don't move with consideration. They don't move with.
And we would say that about y'all. Like, we feel like y'all don't move. And there's exceptions. Like, we're not saying everybody, but there's enough on both sides that don't move with courtesy. That's like, or maybe we feel like they not moving with courtesy because
our person can't put a time frame on it.
Can't put a time frame on when to meet them. Yeah, it's just like when everybody's comfortable with doing it, and as long as you're acting like you got some sense when you meet the person, right? Like, no arguing. Like, it's the co-parenting thing. It takes such a level of growth.
And it takes time to get there too. It doesn't happen immediately.
It does not, and
because it's a lot of kinks that will be in the road getting to the maturity. Because
if it was easy, y'all would be together.
I mean, unless you really just don't give a flying F about the other person. Like, I don't care what you do. I don't care who you dealing with. As long as my kid's good, I don't care. Some parents have that. But some is like, yeah, no. Like, no, not these, not this one, not these two, not this. Like, not my kids.
Definitely have
I'm very protective over my kids as a parent. I don't bring anybody around my kids. Like, I just don't. I don't care how long I've been talking to them, dating them, dealing with them. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with somebody on and off for 3 years, and they still never met my kids.
Yeah, because why? Like, because, I
don't know. I feel like if you want to meet my kids, you want to meet them at our wedding, because I don't know.
Exactly. At this
like, I don't know.
Yeah, because at this point.
Like, you need to be permanent.
Yeah.
To meet these kids. Like, I don't know. Like, me personally, how I think, I, as a mom, and I, as the individual woman, I keep my motherhood completely separated from me as an individual woman. Like, if I don't have my kids, the gloves is off. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm going where I want to go. I'm being around who I want to be around. But when I'm a mom and I have my kids, ain't none of that. Like, ain't none of that. And when you're dating, you need to make that very known to the person that you're dating that, I have kids. And when I have my kids, I have my kids. And when I don't have my kids, I don't have my kids. And that's when, I can have time for you. That's why I personally prefer to date somebody with kids, because I feel like they can more so relate and understand, opposed to somebody who don't want kids. Don't have kids, sorry.
So that's a whole nother thing, right? I go back and forth about that part, like dating somebody with kids.
Why?
Because
do you prefer to date somebody with kids, or no? Or you don't?
No, not now. I don't prefer it, because especially if the kid's a newborn or like a small young child, if the kid's like 2 or 3 years old, no, I'm cool. because y'all ain't worked that out yet. Me, because I know from being in that same situation, it takes longer than 2 or 3 years to get to a space where y'all can be comfortable with each other. Like, and especially if y'all of a certain age and depending on how old he is, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not arguing with nobody. From a male, I know how emotional men can get about females that they're no longer with.
Y'all get emotional?
Especially when they see them with another male.
What? Whoa, this is news to me.
So I'm not playing like these little motherfuckers, these dudes, and they retarded out here. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not arguing with no baby daddies about no females. I'm not doing none of that. So I would prefer you not to have no kids based on that. Not that, you know.
But then that could cause an issue between you and that person, because for somebody who does not have kids, they can become selfish in a way of they don't understand your time, your free time. It's like, oh, we don't spend enough time together. You always got your kids, you know, It's not gonna work. So now it becomes an issue of time, because like you don't have enough time.
That's why you find the ones that can't have kids. They want them, but they can't have them.
This is why
so they got that motherly instinct, but they, you know, it's like,
this is why we need y'all to drop them balloons in the comments, because he got specific detail. Like, he talking about some. Listen, ladies,
I'm just
pick
effing
up
around.
on.
But like, I mean, that's the only reason that. But you know, as you get older, it's hard to find somebody that doesn't have kids. That gets, unless you know, you're not dating super young girls out here. So it's like, at a certain point in life, the only people out here are people with kids.
So somebody said the problem is people don't end relationships until they get to the point that they can't stand one another, or someone ends it, but that's not what the other person
or
wanted,
it ends in cheating
now,
or something like that, and y'all just move. Like,
hold on, and you made me mess up. Not what the other person wanted, and now they are caught up in their feelings. Do you agree?
Yeah. Like, relationships, every way that a relationship ends is going to end messy. It's rare that people sit down and say, you know what, this isn't working for us. I think we should go our separate ways. You know, this is what we're going to do moving forward. Who does that? Who sits down as two mature people and say, all right, listen, this is obviously coming to an end. We have 2 children together. I want to see you happy. You want to see me happy. Let's figure out a way that we can exist cohesively as co-parents to where we're taking each other's feelings into consideration respectfully, and we find a way to that's best suitable for these kids.
Let's be honest, this generation,
who does that?
This generation,
no,
it's always ending on bad terms.
It ends because you either cheated. It ends because you ain't got no. It ends because you're young. I mean, most of the time it ends because you cheated. Like, why do relationships even end other than cheating?
I mean,
right?
You asking the wrong one, honey.
But like, when you think about, I mean, finances, like, of course, like finances, that type of thing. But yeah, no one's sitting down and just and like respectfully ending something. People walk away with no closure. People walk away resentful. People walk away with a point to prove.
I mean, even if you end things with the person on good terms, that still doesn't mean that co-parenting
it's going to be easy.
Not going to be, it's going to be easy. It's not going to be hard. Like, it's still going to be
very hard.
I think it's even worse when y'all end on good terms.
Yeah, the logistics are going to be hard. The logistics going to be hard. Who has who on the holidays? You know, like all of that type of stuff. Like
it all comes into a play. Like, I feel like co-parenting is a job.
It's definitely a job.
It should be on the black job list. It should be on the black job list. Okay?
It's something, but it is something that we have to work on it. And we have to put our egos and our feelings to the side and realize that we got to do this, whatever is best for the children at the end of the day. because it becomes a competition. Again, now I'm going to outparent you. My way is the right way. Oh, no, the way I do things at my house are the correct way. They should be doing that thing at your, like, it becomes a competition. So,
oh yeah, that's always, a conflict.
Clothes, like we talk.
That's
like
always
clothes.
a conflict with co-parenting.
Send
You
my
have two
clothes
different
back.
households.
Yeah. Wash my clothes. Send my clothes back. Where my socks? Like, you start arguing about stupid stuff. Where's those 2 pair of underwear that I sent over there? Like, why he, like, why, all of that. Why you ain't washed the clothes? Why they this? Why they that? Like, so,
I mean, I understand that because kids' clothes is expensive, and if I feel as though I gotta keep buying clothes because my clothes ain't coming back,
I've done it. Listen,
it'd be a burnout. I'm sick of getting clothes. Okay, these kids grow out of clothes enough as is.
I've sent clothes and not gotten them back. I've gotten clothes and haven't sent them back. So
it's a habit. It's not intentional.
No,
you
yeah,
can't
exactly,
keep up with...
exactly. So that's the thing. As you, in the beginning, you're gonna look at it as being intentional. It's not until you get into it and it's like, whatever, bro. I'm not gonna keep arguing about clothes but that's a process.
You just learn how to maneuver it. It's just like with me, I buy certain clothes. I buy clothes that I don't care if they don't come back, and then I buy certain clothes. It's like it's never leaving and going over there.
Yeah,
like it's just not going to happen.
Certain amount.
And then luckily, me and my kid's father, we buy different brands, so it's easy for me to figure out, oh, this is his because I don't buy that brand. I buy this brand, he buys that brand. So it's easier for me to, when I'm going through their clothes and I watch their clothes, I could be like, all right, I got a couple of your things. I'm gonna send them, whatever. I try to be a little more considerate of it. It's not intentional, like I said, to not send stuff back, but
Yeah, I've been through all of it. My kid's a little older now, so it's like, and we're in a much better, like, we've been through all the horror stuff, and now it's kind of easy because, like I said, they're older now, but I'm only speaking on it because I've been through it. And I know, it takes a level of maturity to not, like, you have to stop trying to prove a point. Like, even if it takes some swallowing your pride and like dealing with stuff that you don't want to deal with, it's all a growth process. And,
it takes time. It definitely takes time. We definitely had a lot.
Yeah, it could be more to this.
Touch on this topic. We might gotta spin the block and have a part 2.
Yeah, circle back.
We might gotta spin a block on this one.
Or something.
Yeah.
But it's always a pleasure, y'all. And until next time, adios. This has been another episode of the Hip Hop Diner. I am your host, Lance Arrington, along with my co-host.
It's Your Majesty.
You can catch us on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can catch us on all your social medias and everywhere that you listen to podcasts on any platform. Again, this has been a Hip Hop Diner, and see you next time.